Good morning, distinguished delegates here at the Congress Center and all over the world who joined us. Welcome to this, the last day of our Congress. We are very happy that we are progressing very well. We'll have this morning session, 2 sessions. We'll start with the first session, which will be moderated by Professor Bahri Basaran and Mr. Thomas View. Let me say a few words about our great moderators. Professor Bahri Basaran is from Ege University, Turkey. He did also his doctorate at Ege University there and even the other degrees. He is director of the graduate program, served as director and deputy head of department also. He published more than 57 articles on reputable journals, including also book chapter. Mr. Thomas Yu is president of the Taiwanese International Laser Association. He is general manager of Duality Enterprise Corporation Limited. He served as CEO on Standard Chemicals Corporation Limited. He was also the previous IULTCS president from 2018 to 2019. I'm sure our moderators will introduce the presenters and the details. I will pass the floor to our moderators. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Also, a very good morning for everyone to be there in the Congress Hall. Also, I thank you so much for introducing me with very well and also entirely well compiled words. Thank you so much. Also, good morning, Thomas Yu. Thank you so much for your assistance in the Congress in the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Also, I would like to express my gratitude for your excellence in the Congress, Professor McConnell. Thank you so much. Also, from Turkey, from my side, a warm welcome, also warm greetings to everyone in the Congress Hall who are attendance, also for participating online, for everyone. Also, I am looking over the audience right now. I couldn't see Professor Mini Hija. Maybe he couldn't come and he couldn't attend this Congress. Also, I wish him a healthy life from now on. Also, I hope, inshallah, he will recover soon. Also, I cannot skip over without mentioning the name who is passed away last year, 2 years ago among us, the name Madame Narina. Maybe wish be her soul in peace right now, inshallah. Amin. Right now, it is the 8th session of the Congress. Also, very thank you for giving me this opportunity. There will be a Congress in Turkey on November on November 25-26 this month. If you give me sometimes some space, some words at the end of this session, I will share the website of the Congress. I will introduce this event for the audience, for everyone. So after some speech of mine, we will continue. Shall I proceed right now for introducing presenters? Professor Ma has just come.
Yes,
Shall we start? Shall we start with you right now? Are you ready?
yeah, I'm ready.
Professor,
I'm ready.
I'm a little bit earlier than you. Excuse me. Also, I am giving the speech to you again. The first one. Okay, you are the first one. Okay, you can start right now. It's okay. We can see. We can see the presentation. Please go ahead.
Well,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Jie Chen from Shanxi University of Science and Technology in China. Currently, I'm a doctoral student advised by Professor Jian Zhongma. I will take this presentation instead of him, and I'm honored to have this opportunity to speak at this Congress. Today, I would like to present my recent work, MOS-enabled polyacrylate with nanocomponent as flame retardant leather finishes. I will carry out this presentation from the following aspects: research background, my work, the other functional leather finishes. As a final step in the leather making process, leather finishing can protect and beautify the leather surface and offer other special features. With increasing demand for added value of leather products, finishing materials become much important. This of a lot of ways, and the introduction of metal liquor into leather matrix will raise a serious security issue due to its inflammability. In our previous work, we prepared polyacrylate ATP composite finishes and casein-based LDH composite leather finishes to endure the leather flame retardancy. Then we began to think about how to further enrich the flame retardant of leather finishing agent. Metal organic frameworks, also known as MOS, show a good inhibitory to smoke formation and the release of toxic gases during burning. Here, a series of MOS were added into polyacrylate emulsion by physical blending method to prepare polyacrylate MOS composite emulsion. Then the obtained composite emulsion was applied in leather finishing to enable leather with flame retardance. The structure of MOS was characterized by X-ray direction and scanning electron microscope. XRD patterns show that all peaks are in agreement with the simulated, confirming the successful synthesis of the metal organic frameworks. SEM images show that the MOS particles are uniform and they exhibited obvious crystallization shape. The flame retardancy of finished leather was tested by limiting oxygen index, vertical combustion, conchlorometer, and TG. We found that when the usage of cobalt MOF was 1%, LOI value of composite emulsion finished leather increased from 24.5 to 26.5%. Compared with polyacrylate finished leather, there are 5.2 and 8.7% more residues left, respectively. Besides, composite emulsion finished leather made the burning time of open flame shortened by 16.6 and 36.3%. Compared with polyacrylate finished leather, the heat release rate and the total heat release values of polyacrylate, the corneum MOF, and the polyacrylate cobalt MOF composite emulsions finished leather decreased by 15.7 and 34.5, respectively. Raman spectra was utilized to understand the flame retardant mechanism. There are two peaks at 1350 and 1590, which correspond to D and G bonds. respectively. The ratio of the integrated intensity of D and G bonds can be used to evaluate the graphitization degree of char. The ratio of polyacrylate emulsion finished leather is greater than that of polyacrylate mauve composite finished leather, indicating the char of composite finished leather has a higher graphitization degree and thermal stability, which is attributed to the catalyzing carbonation of mauve in the degradation process. To summarize my main points in this work, when the usage of the zirconium mauve and the cobalt mauve was 1%, the LOI value of finished leather has been increased. The damaged length, burning time, HRR, and THR has been greatly decreased, indicating the composite emulsion finished leather showed excellent flame retardancy. Compared with the zirconium mauve, polyacrylate cobalt mauve composite emulsion finished leather showed better flame retardancy. It could provide a promising advance in the development of flame retardants for leather finishes. Polyacrylate mauve composite emulsion finished leather exhibited higher graphitization degree and thermal stability, which is attributed to the catalyzing carbonation of mauve in the degradation process. Besides, we also have carried out a series of studies on functional leather finishes. Indoor air seriously causes many human diseases, so we designed a composite coating, and it showed good fluorescence behaviors for VOC detection. The development of communication technology makes the electromagnetic interference be a serious issue. So we prepared a polyacrylate modified graphite composite coating. It showed high shielding performance for the electric field. In addition, a strawberry-like casein-based titanium dioxide composite emulsion was applied in leather finishing to enable leather excellent self-cleaning behaviors. Thanks for the congress and the founding support of NSFC. Special thanks for the contributions from Professor Jian Zhongma, Associate Professor Qian Fan, and so on. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Ma. Shall we have the questions at the end of the session? Please wait for a while, and then you can write down online your questions, and also you can give your microphone to ask a question. We will shift to second one. Also, her name is Kao Mignan. She is from China. Also, she is a master's degree student at Shaanxi University of Science and Technology. Her research work is on flame retardancy, also flame retardant fat curing agents. I will give the speech to her right now. Are you ready, Kao? Miss Kao?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, okay. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Komongnan. I'm a master student from Shaanxi University of Science and Technology in China. I am honored to attend this international leather conference. The title of my report is Study on 3D Layer Double Hydroxide Mount Laminate for Improving Flame Retardant Properties of Leather. First, the background. Fat liquoring agent can give leather softness, fullness, and so on. Its main components are emulsifier, neutral oil, and auxiliary amines. Neutral oil accounts for a larger proportion. It is divided into natural oil and petroleum processing products. The latter is non-renewable resources, so natural oil can be used as neutral oil. It is divided into animal oil and vegetable oil. Vegetable oil has many advantages, such as large output and multiple double bonds. Our team has always used it as neutral oil for preparing phytolachrine agent, mainly rapeseed oil and xanthosylum bacganum seed oil. But leather will be flammable after phytolachrine. Automotive and aircraft has put forward flame retardant requirements for interior leather. Therefore, flame retardant can be introduced into the phytolachrine to improve the flame retardancy of the leather. This is the research progress on flame retardant phytolachrine agents by our team. We had done research on flame retardant phytolachrine since 2008. Montmorillonate had flame retardancy, layered double hydroxide had flame retardancy, and smoke suppression. So far, we have mainly done research on the flame retardant properties of the two materials on leather. Rapeseed oil and xanthosylum bacganum seed oil are mainly used as neutral oils to prepare phytolachrines. Here is the main work of our team in recent years. Based on the previous work, the current work is to combine LDH and MMT to prepare LDH MMT, and then it was introduced into the ZBMSO to prepare phytolachrine agent, which was applied to leather phytolachrine process. This is preparation diagram of LDH MMT. The results show that LDH grew in situ on the surface of MMT, and flower-like morphology LDH MMT has been observed. LDH MMT was introduced into ZBMSO by in situ method to prepare phytolachrine. This is the main reaction equation. The results of FTIR and TEM show that LDH MMT was dispersed in MZBMSO, and it still had flower-like morphology. The effect of MMT to aluminum nitrate nanohydrate on the flame retardancy of leather was investigated by vertical combustion and limiting oxygen index. When MMT to aluminum nitrate nanohydrate was 1.2 to 1, the flame retardancy of leather was the best. The effect of molar ratio of urea to metal salt on flame retardancy of leather was also investigated by vertical combustion and limiting oxygen index. When the molar ratio of urea to metal salt was 3.6 to 1, the flame retardancy of leather was better. The effect of LDH MMT dosage on flame retardancy of leather was also investigated. When the dosage of LDH MMT was 12%, the flame retardancy of leather was the favorable. We had done some work on the synergistic flame retardancy of LDH and MMT. From the results, compared with MZBMSO, damaged length of LDH MZBMSO, MMT MZBMSO, and LDH MMT MZBMSO treated leather decreased by 19.2%, 34.6%, 67.9% respectively. LDH MMT MZBMSO had been demonstrated a relatively high contribution on flame retardancy, which indicated that the combination of LDH and MMT achieved the synergistic flame retardant effect of the two. Cone calorimetry was also carried out on leather. Compared with the other three samples, the peak heat release rate, the total heat release, and the peak smoke production rate of LDH MMT MZBMSO treated leather decreased the most, indicating that LDH and MMT could achieve synergistic heat insulation and smoke suppression effects. The Raman and SEM results of the carbon layer of the bond laser showed that the carbon layer of the laser with adding LDH MMT was more denser. The picture on the right showed flame retardant schematic diagram of LDH MMT MZB MSO treated laser. The next part is the conclusion. LDH MMT was prepared by the hydrothermal method. Its size is about 500 to 600 nanometer and has a flower-like morphology. LDH MMT was introduced into ZB MSO by in situ method. Obtained LDH MMT MZB MSO was applied in laser phytolachrine process. Compared with the laser treated with MZB MSO, the LDH MMT MZB MSO treated laser peak heat release rate decreased by 43.6%. The total heat release decreased by 74%, and the peak smoke production rate decreased by 57.3%. It indicated that LDH MMT MZB MSO could improve the thermal insulation and smoke suppression performance of laser. Finally, I would like to thank the conference for giving me this opportunity to make an oral report. The team leader, Ma Jianzhong, my mentor, Professor Lu Bin, and Professor Gao Dangge for their guidance and help to my work. The support of my team and the financial support of the Natural Science Foundation of China and other projects to a team. That's all, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Cao Mignon. After having two presentations of flame retardancy properties of leather, we can go ahead to the next one, the third one, also who is from China again. Also, we will talk about the antimicrobial properties of leather again. Also, we are talking about all the performance characteristics of leather right now. The two one we had also in relation with the flame retardancy. Also now it will be on antimicrobial properties of leather. Also, Mr. Wen Hui Tao from China. Also, he is a PhD student of Xuan University in China. Also, the topic will be antimicrobial strategy on chrome-free tanned leather based on beta-cyclodextrin aldehyde derivatives and small molecule antimicrobial agent. I will give you the speech to him right now. Are you ready? Are you ready, Mr. Wen Hui Tao?
Yeah. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Shall we go ahead?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Yes, we can hear you. Your voice.
We can hear you.
Hello, everyone. First, this is a greeting from Sichuan University, China. I'm Wen Hui Tao, a doctor of Sichuan University and a laser researcher at Xingye Technology Company. Today, I'm very pleasant to share my paper. Today, I'm very pleasant to share my paper on antibacterial strategy on chrome-free tanned leather based on beta-cyclodextrin aldehyde derivatives and small molecular antimicrobial agent. Abstract. To improve the antibacterial properties of chrome chromo-free tiny laser, and solution was proposed, modified by beta cyclodestrine aldehyde derivatives, and included with semiprofluoxetine hydrochloride. The structure and properties were corrected rest by FTIR, SEM, BSC, TG, and antibacterial rate. The results showed that antibacterial performance is still excellent after 19 days of storage.
Excuse me, we cannot see your presentation. Can you put into the presentation mode?
As everyone knows, chrome tanning has dominated in laser production, while facing significant challenges in terms of chrome. Therefore, the chrome-free tanning laser process has become an invented choice. However, chrome-free tanning laser is poor in antibacterial properties, which limits the impractical application in laser production. The conventional solution was to add more efficient and safe antibacterial agent, but the effect was not ideal. Why insufficient force between the antibacterial agent and the laser? How to enhance the force? Introduce a complete beta cyclodestrine cavity on the CFTR, fixing the small molecular antibacterial agent in the cavity, using its slow release effect to achieve the purpose of long-term antibacterial agent. Materials and method. CFTR, chrome-free tanning laser, prepared by the combination tanning based on organic tanning agent, tanning extract, and ZRALTI complex tanning agent. CDAD, beta cyclodestrine aldehyde derivatives, multiplayable 6-deox, 6-formyl beta cyclodestrine. CH, a model antibacterial agent. The right is the text route. First, beta cyclodestrine is oxidized to CDAD. Then the CFTR was treated by CDAD to get CDCFTR. Then the CDCFTR was treated by CH to get CDCFTR. The first is CDCFTR. CDCFTR was prepared by fifth-base reaction between aldehyde group on CDAD and amino groups on CFTR. The important structure feature was to introduction the beta CD cavity. The correct address the peak of CH could be observed in CH CFTR, but disappeared in CH CD CFTR. The reason was that CH was included in the cavity of beta CD. In the left, all the peaks on CH CFTR had been weakened, which was caused by the obstruction of the molecular vibration after inclusion. The single factory the dosage of storage with the pH, the temperature, and the time of the inclusion was optimized. Thermal analysis compared with CFTR, CDCFTR after CH treatment had better thermal properties. The reason was that CH and CD could form an inclusion compound, and the thermal stability of the inclusion compound was stronger. After CH loaded, an exothermic appears at 157 and 17. 这什么情况？157.4, which was confirmed to be a corrected rest peak of CH. And the peak did not exist in CH-CD-CFTR, which also thought the CH was included in the cavity of beta cyclodextrin. Antibacterial properties. CFTR and CH-CFTR has slightly antibacterial properties. After about 13 days, the CFTR and CH-CFTR had no antibacterial properties, but CH-CD-CFTR has excellent long-lasting antibacterial properties. After 19 days of storage, antibacterial rate against E. coli and S. aureus were 99.8% and 97.4%, which was 29.9% and 34.4% higher than the untreated ones. And E. coli and S. aureus could be found at the CH-CFTR, and the CH-CFTR was treated. But in CH-CFTR and CH-CD-CFTR, the E. coli and S. aureus have now only a few bacteria was found. Conclusions: the antibacterial strategy was proved. Introduce a complete beta CD cavity on the CFTR to fill the cavity small molecular antibacterial agent such as CH. The structure and properties of CD-CFTR and CH-CD-CFTR were corrected by FTR, SEM, DSC, TGA, and antibacterial rate. Both antibacterial properties and heat resistance were improved, and the application processes were promising. Acknowledgement. This work was finally supported by Fujian Province Natural Science Foundation Project, National Key Research and Development Programs. The other greatest acknowledged Xingye Light Technology Company for their provided cavity. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Also, after three presentations which are in relation with the leather properties such as flame retardancies and also antimicrobial effects, we can right now coming to the last one. Also, the topic will be vegetable tannins. We are shift to the tanning process right now. Also, the presenter will be Mrs. Livia Souza Chamlefel. She is from Brazil. Also, she is holder of a master's degree in chemical engineering. She served as a DTI fellow in a research project to develop a methodology for analyzing of aging and degradation of biodiesel. Currently, she's a PhD candidate in chemical engineering. So I will give the speech to her right now. If she is ready, also, okay, I can see you right now. Please hear the speech for you.
Hi, thank you. Hello, good morning to everyone. My name is Livia. I am a doctoral candidate in chemical engineering at Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul. Today, the title of my presentation is Vegetable Tannins Uses and Antioxidant Property. This work was developed in the Laboratory for Leather and Environmental Studies, now as LACOUR. Vegetable tannins are compounds of great economic and ecological interest, especially with the demand for more sustainable process. Tannins are phenolic compounds found in the roots, wood, bark, leaves, fruits, and seeds of different plant species, where they are synthesized as secondary metabolites. In the plants, they act with protective function against insects, fungi, or bacteria, for example. The diversity of structures found in the different tannins allows a variety of uses for tannin. Regarding the structures, tannins are divided into major groups, hydrolyzable and condensing tannins, as can be seen in the figures here. Condensing tannins, the main part of their composition comes from monomeric units of catechin and catechin-based compounds, while the basic structures for hydrolyzable tannins are gallic acid and ellagic acids. And regarding their commercial availability, hydrolyzable tannins account for less than 10% of the world production, while condensing tannins correspond to the others 90%. And when we ask about research interest in tannins, a brief research in the Scopus database by the words vegetable and tannins found 1885 documents in the period of 1981 and 2021, demonstrating the growing interest in vegetable tannins research. Many of the published studies are improvements of already commercial uses, and others are in research phase. In a brief overview of tannins application, we can say that the most important tannin application is in the leather industry as tanning agents, followed by their use as adhesives for woods and plastics, and in third place, the use as flocculants for wastewater treatments. The application as corrosion inhibitors for metal and antioxidants are also known. This antioxidant ability of the tannins, together with antimicrobial properties, also make tannins suitable for application in foods, beverages, as well, and medicinal and pharmaceutical uses. Research studies in the Laboratory for Leather and Environmental Studies covered a few of these uses and brought us new knowledge for some of these applications. I quickly now present a resume of these findings among other interesting findings in literature. For example, for wastewater treatment, the work of Angels demonstrates the possibility to use aluminum sulfate with tannins and so reduce the dosage of aluminum sulfate. The study of Fontoura showed that the use of vegetable tannins in the flocculation process increased the sedimentation of microalgae biomass in the microbiological treatment stage. Awad studied the tannins properties related to the penetration in the hide. When tannins and found that the property related with greater penetration in the hide were the higher tannin content and the lower insoluble content of tannins. And this properties explains why in this study, Marabolana and Tara tannins present a low penetration potential, while Acacia, Quebracho, and Chestnut went to the hide easily. This work is part of my doctorate research, and in this study, a tannin-based antioxidant was used for the preservation of biodiesel. The protection against biodiesel oxidation by the tannin antioxidant was superior to the synthetic compound tetbutylhydroquinone. And this antioxidant property of tannins also may be related to the tannin effects on chromium 6 prevention in leather. Two works in 2011 and 2015 found that the retanning with vegetable tannins had a beneficial effect by preventing the oxidation of chromium to chromium 6, which was not detected in aged leather samples. Another important aspect to be considered in application of vegetable tannins is their biodegradability. Tannins antimicrobiological qualities may cause problems where tannin-based products may need microbiological degradation for its disposal. For example, in the degradation of wastewater sludge, the work of Agostini demonstrates that chromium sludge was a more suitable medium for anaerobic digestion than vegetable tannin sludge. Another study by Spear and Guterres evaluated the influence of the concentration of tannin in the cultivation of Aspergillus niger fungi in different cultivations, and the consumption of tannin was only near 13%, proving the physiostat action of the tannins on the Aspergillus niger. However, the same study presents an alternative treatment in which the fungus strains of the genus Penicillium were much more effective on consumption of acacia tannin, reaching 97.3% of tannin consumption. So, considering all these findings, it can be seen that many different factors are relatable to tannins applications. Thus, the aim of this study was to evaluate some of tannins properties relating to new applications under research, especially their use as antioxidants. We evaluated acacia, chestnut, and quebracho tannins extracts, and the properties measured are the ash content, the total phenolic content by the Folin cyclotron method, the antioxidant activity by the deep pH radical method, and thermogravimetric analyses were also performed. Describing now the results found, the results evidenced a large amount of phenols present in vegetable tannins, even when comparing to other extracts. Thus, applications that depend on these structures, such as antioxidant and corrosion inhibitors, can benefit from the use of vegetable tannins. The ash content found can be considered small. However, more sensible applications, for example, the use as antioxidants in oils, foods, beverages, where the final product specification may require low ash content, the impact of tannin ashes should be considered. The thermogravimetric analysis demonstrates that near 80% of the weight is still present at 250 and 300 Celsius degrees. This is an indication of good stability, and especially for applications at small temperatures. However, applications that require exposition to higher temperatures may require evaluation of the stability. Finally, the results for antioxidant activity showed that the tannins with a concentration of 10 milligrams per liter were able to inhibit more than 85% of deep pH radical in aqueous medium. This is a high antioxidant activity when compared to other vegetables extracts. For example, green tea extract needed 25 more amount of concentration for reaching the same inhibition. So in conclusion, vegetable tannins are natural compounds. Therefore, they are being considered as an alternative material for replacing synthetic compounds in many applications, providing more sustainable process. The properties and structures make them suitable for a broad range of applications, such as tanning agent, adhesive, flocculant, corrosion inhibitor, antioxidants, food additives, and medicinal use. The analysis demonstrates the potential for the use of tannins as antioxidants due to their phenolic content and antioxidant activity. However, further studies are required to scale the new research findings in industrial applications, which can then increase the competitiveness of tannins productivity chains. We'd like to thank to the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul and Brazilian founding agents. Here's a picture of Lacoro team. And here, me with Professor Marilis Guterres and Professor Lir Mazzini, who orientates my work. Thank you for listening, for your attention.
Thank you, Livia. Also, we thank you for your team from Brazil. Also, you were talking about the antimicrobial, antioxidant effect of vegetable tannins in biodiesel. Also, you have shown some papers released in the past. Also, one of them is from our university, from my colleague, Mr. Çiğdem Özkan. Also, we congratulate her and also you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Also, there is one message from me, for me. It says we will have one video presentation which was proposed to be made yesterday. If it can be made after this presentation, it will be okay. It says okay. I said okay. Also, Professor will send you the profile of the presenter demiş. Okay, it says how can open this video? I couldn't understand, but if you can give us assistance to me, it will be okay. Professor McConnell and also Professor, if there is any, for example, okay, I couldn't understand, but the message in relation with the
Hello, Professor Basaran, do you hear me?
Yes. If there is any technical assistance in the hall, please give him some assistance to me, because there is one message from an audience. It says we will have one video presentation which was supposed to be made yesterday. It says also if it can be made after this presentation, it will be okay. It says also I replied to him, it will be okay. Also he says Professor will send you the profile of the presenter. It says I couldn't understand what they are saying, but if you have for example, if there is the sender of the message there, okay, please give the microphone to him. They will also do on behalf of me.
Okay, Professor, thank you very much. That one we will quickly handle from this side, and we will return back the floor back to you for the question and answer session.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joas Rehn. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joas Rehn. I'm a design researcher from the Darmstadt University of Applied Sciences in Germany. And today I want to present to you the design guidelines and a canvas for more sustainable leather products. I want to talk about the role of design as a driver for sustainable leather products in the 21st century. I will start with giving you a bit information on the background, followed by an introduction of these leather design guidelines and I will sum up by presenting to you the Leather Product Design Canvas, which is an open access tool you can use right away. To start with, let me emphasize that the output I show you today is only a very small part of a very big project that started in 2018 and is a transdisciplinary project including a number of different departments and stakeholders. It's funded by the German government and the state of Hessen. And more information on that you can see visiting our website that you see here below. But in a nutshell, I can say that the project and some part of the project, which is abbreviated as SNE, aims to help the leather industry make the transition to a more sustainable leather chemistry. And in order to achieve that, we conducted a transdisciplinary process which started in 2018 with a number of different tools, methods, and participants. And I cannot go into detail here due to time reasons, but I want to pick out one specific aspect, which is the scenario process that took place in 6 months with a commitment of representatives along the supply chains and other stakeholders. A selection of these people you see, or organizations you see on this slide here. During this scenario process, we created a scenario story as a narrative and a common vision. It describes what the leather supply chains might look like in 2035. And what we see here is that it's not only one simple aspect that needs to be addressed in order to become more sustainable here, but a number of different elements we have to have a look at. It includes traceability of chemicals along the supply chains, cooperations, horizontally as well as vertically, but also the notion of transparency and knowledge distribution. And last but not least, also a change in consumer behavior and the offerings of brands and retailers. If you want to read the full scenario story, have a look at our website. You can download the document for free. The question that occurs here is, how do we establish a more sustainable leather chemistry as described in this scenario story? And we designed a so-called theory of change, which comprises a number of different steps that need to take place in order for the scenario to become reality. And from this theory of change, we created 4 sub-projects focusing on different elements in this theory of change. The first one addresses the notion of harmonization of standards. The second one refers to IT tools and governance for traceability, and here mainly regarding chemicals. The third one refers to chemicals and process innovation, and in this third one we also address the challenge of creating an evaluation toolkit that shall give a score on chemicals and processes in the context of the leather supply chains. And the fourth sub-project aims at creating leather design guidelines for sustainable development, and this is in fact what I'm talking about today. So what are the objectives of this sub-project? The aim is to develop guidelines that should give impulses to improve design processes in favor of sustainable development. So we want to help the industry, to help designers and design teams create more sustainable leather products. And the second step here is that we want to help them apply the guidelines to test drive whether they really create more sustainable leather products that can be marketed. Questions we ask here is, what in fact are the aspects we need to consider when we talk about more sustainable leather products? And are there general design principles, maybe from other parts of design, we can transfer to the field of leather products to make them more sustainable? And thirdly, and this refers to leather in particular, are there specific properties of this material that should be addressed by design and that have something like a unique selling point? I will come to that in a bit. And last but not least, it's also all about business models that can be developed from this. As I said before, this is a transdisciplinary approach, so the guidelines are not designed by the university team, but in a big group including academia from the university and different faculties, but also industry and brands, NGOs, and many more. The purpose of this and the structure of the guidelines is very complex, and I just want to emphasize here 2 aspects that we can address. The first one is that there are general aspects of leather products and leather as a material that are more sustainable by default. So for instance, leather as a material is designed to be durable. It is easier repairable than, for instance, plastic or cotton. And it comes, if we have a look at the consumption patterns globally right now, from renewable origin. It has a specific historic and emotional value, and we can use that to change consumption patterns and consumer behavior. At the same time, and this is now the right box here, there might be something that we would call more sustainable leather as opposed to a conventional form of leather. It might include using specific chemicals and avoiding other specific chemicals. And it might also include things like traceability requirements. And the question is, how do we use this specific, more sustainable type of leather in a design aspect to really address different sensitivities of this material and maybe a certain aesthetic appearance that is related to using specific chemicals, for instance. I quickly want to emphasize the role of design here. And if I talk about design, I refer to all the steps and aspects that aim at creating new or improving existing products or services. So these guidelines are not only aiming at new leather products, it's also about marketing strategies, business models, or the whole context around a product. Because by making one decision in the design, we're also influencing questions of sourcing, marketing, and many more. So design is always an interdisciplinary team effort. So design is not done by designers alone or design teams alone. Design is done, especially when you talk about leather products in a bigger scale. It's done by designers, but also marketeers, product managers, technicians, sometimes even tanners, and many other people involved. So in order to create leather products that are more sustainable, it requires a systems perspective, an awareness for rebound effects and side effects. So if we change one aspect in a design, we have to be aware that we might create a problem on another side here. So we have to be willing to continuously learn to question our existing beliefs regarding a specific procedure, chemical, product, material type, and many other things. And therefore, interdisciplinarity is a very helpful tool and approach here. As of now, these guidelines have around 27 chapters and subchapters. I only want to give you a quick glance at it. It's a rough summary of these, and the guidelines refer to general aspects such as leather chemicals, also consumer behavior in terms of leather products, but also specific design approaches like design for longevity or what type of leather should you use for what specific type of product. And as you see here below, the leather product design canvas is one part of it. And this is what I want to talk in the last 2 minutes here. It is a spin-off from these guidelines. So it's something like the guidelines in a nutshell. And it is related to what Oosterwalder and al. Created in the shape of a business model canvas. This business model canvas is a poster that you might print out and use as a template to create or improve business models. So it comprises a number of key elements you have to address or you should address when you really want to create better business models. And in that way, it is really a more exploratory creative tool that you can use very well in workshop settings. Based on this idea, we created the leather product design canvas, which comprises a layout like you see here. So it also has 18 boxes in this case, based on 4 different categories. The cream one refers, for instance, to technical aspects, as the brown boxes refer to procedural or organizational context. And inside of these boxes, you find a number of questions that you could use as impulses or that should help you fill out the boxes here. And I want to emphasize that it's not necessary to fill out all the boxes or to use that in a chronological order, but rather to use it as a sort of playbook, as a sort of exploratory creative tool to help you get the bigger picture, to help you to gain a systemic understanding of the product and the context at hand. This is an example of how you might use it in a workshop or on your own. And if you're interested in that, feel free to download the document using this DOI link here. It is open access using a Creative Commons license, so you can download it and apply it. And we would be very happy if you review it and get in contact with us. And last but not least, you might consider conducting a pilot study or case study with us. So either you could apply the canvas simply and publish it or get in contact with us, or you could really join our project team by applying the guidelines to your specific product. Because we offer right now, starting next year, case studies in the year of 2022, which we will help you conduct, either aiming for a simple concept like you know from automotive design, or a really marketed product in a small series or whatsoever. And we might facilitate even a master thesis that would help in this process. So if you're interested and from the business here, get in contact with us. We are very happy to start a participatory journey with you. Thank you very much and see you.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Jonas Rhein. In fact, he is from Germany and he is senior design researcher at the Institute for Design Research, Darmstadt University of Applied Science. Well, his research interest areas include systems innovation, empirical design research, design for behavior change, and design for sustainable development. Thank you very much, Professor Basaran and Mr. Thomas. The floor is yours for the question and answer session.
Thank you so much, Professor Mekonnen. Okay. Also, we thank you very much for the presenter, for the nice presentation in relation with the establishing more sustainable chemistry. It is a challenge, but it is necessary for us for the future. Protective chemistry also for the future, it will be benefit for us. Also, shall we shift to the
Yes, can we go to the first questions?
Yes.
Yes, I think the first question is to Professor Ma. Is Professor Ma online? Will you be able to answer? Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes.
Thanks for your question. The main problem currently encountered is the cost control and the further improvement of flame retardant performance. But we think it will become a good flame retardant leather finishes. If you have further questions, you can send email to me. It's my pleasure to discuss with all of you after the Congress. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Can we go for the next one?
Next one, please.
Okay, I think this question is to Livia. Could you answer these questions about the vegetable tanning extract?
Yes. Yes, right. Thank you for the question. Is an interesting question. Yes, the vegetable tannins, when used, they present advantage, but also some disadvantage, such as this. This all must be considered when choosing the use of tannins. For example, some retaining agents may be used to help with these problems mentioned in the question. Also, the tannins allows to different kinds of finishing in the leather, like print and sand. This all must be considered. They present also advantages in controlling microorganisms in the leather, but this is indeed an advantage that happens when they are used. I hope it's a clear answer.
Yes, I think this is also very interesting to me, but it could be maybe the UV resistance, I guess. Okay, the next question, please. It's to Olivia again. They want to know about the condensed tanning can be used to stabilize the vegetable oils. Olivia?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Very good question. Yes, I believe they can. when I used the tannins as antioxidants in biodiesel, I used condensed tannins, and they present a good effect. And since the oil and biodiesel are very similar, the mechanism of degradation of tannins is very similar, I believe they can be used. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next question, please. Okay, this question is to Mr. Guo. I think they want to ask about the property, the smoke density and the toxicity. Ms. Guo, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thanks for your question. In this part of work, we mainly characterize the release amount and the release rate of smoke during laser combustion by cone calorimetry. Compared with untreated laser, we prove that it has obvious smoke suppression. Its toxicity and density were not further tested, but we will consider testing them later. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think this is a good following up study later. Okay, so maybe we go for next one. Thank you, Ms. Guo.
Thank you.
Okay, this question is also for Olivia. Could you answer this one, please? Hello, Olivia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, indeed, they present a heavy organic load. I believe that
Yes, because in your presentation,
yes,
I
in the
think you're using
wastewater treatment,
Yes.
in case if there are fats present in the wastewater, I believe that they can help to prevent the formation of chromium-6 because of the mechanism they act in the fat in the fats and lipids present in the mean. But indeed, they presented these problems mentioned. So it's always a question of balance. What's more important, dependent of the context and the application.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And let's move on to the next one. Livia, it's you again. People like vegetable tanning, I guess. I think this is more a comment. Yes.
Yeah.
Would you like to speak something about it? Hello? Livia?
I am sorry.
Yes.
As mute. Well, thank you. And indeed, it is this ability of tannins to prevent the conversion of chromium-3 to 6 is very interesting. I believe that's related to depends a lot of the kind of oil we use in the fat liquor. Depending on the fat liquor used, they can be more or less efficient in that function. That is something that still need a lot of more research to understand deeply how it works and which are the best conditions to apply the tennis for this proposal.
Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you, Lydia. I see there is no questions now. Oh, sorry. Yes. Yes, I think that the question has been all answered. Yes, I think this has been done already. This one is, please move back, I guess. Yes. So I think this will be the
Yes.
end of this sessions because we practically they answer all the questions. So Professor Pasaran, shall we move the session back to the chairman's?
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Also, we have just completed the session 8. Also, I thank you for your kind assistance to me, Mr. Tomasio. Thank you so much. Also, I convey my all of my greetings to all audience in the hall, also participating online. Have a good Congress, have a successful Congress for everyone. I'm while completing my speech right now. Also, I will talk to Professor McConnell again. If possible, Professor McConnell, there are 2 colleagues of mine in the hall right now, who is Mustafa, whose name is Mustafa, and also Santil from India. Also, they are my colleague. Also, there will be one event in Turkey on November 25-26. Also, I've just mentioned about it. So, if possible, at the end of Congress, for example, in the afternoon, in the afternoon or in the evening, shall we have some small presentation? Who will be presented? Excuse me, that will be presented by our colleagues. For example, 2-3 minutes, showing that our website. Also, if for example, if we give that kind of opportunity for us, we will very thankful for you. Thank you so much. At the end of the session, also I'm very thankful for everyone there to listen me carefully. Thank you so much.
Thank you for attending the session 8. So I think Professor McCammon, I think now we're going to have a coffee break. Is it?
Yes, thank you very much, all the presenters for the excellent work. We thank you also our great moderators for really leading the discussion, the presentations and question and answer sessions. All the participants here physically present and others, I'm sure, we are very happy. We thank you very much. As rightly indicated, we will break. Maybe just a small, Professor Basaran, as you rightly know, all presentations have to pass through the scientific committee, which has to be presented in such a great forum. Therefore, it will not be from my side easy to promise such a presentation for this audience, because it has to be first seen by the Congress Scientific Committee. Sorry for that. Thank you very much. Let us break for tea.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, now before breaking, those certificates for our presenters, they are ready. Just they are displayed. They will be sent out to each presenter through his contact address, the electronic version. Thank you. Thank you very much.